This is Ian. I've been an advertiser on Amazon for 8 years for my own Amazon brands. And today I'm going to explain why ACOS, or advertising cost of sales, is really the wrong metric to be using to evaluate your campaigns. And in fact, if you're evaluating your campaigns using ACOS, you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. And I have a lot of experience dealing with this. I've also worked with some of my consulting clients to talk about this. And sometimes it's really a matter of unteaching the bad advice that they've gotten from either agencies or from Amazon itself about using ACOS as a metric to measure your campaigns. And let's get into it right now. So when I opened up my campaign manager for one of my brands, and you can see that there's an ACOS column here, there's a whole bunch of numbers here, and then it's also shown as an option in here. And in fact, I can basically add that, and I could delete my sales level and just look at that. I have big problems with using ACOS as a measuring stick. And if you're using ACOS as a measuring stick for all your campaigns, you're not looking at other types of data, really, you're doing it wrong. And the main problem with ACOS is ACOS in advertising cost of sales. It's basically, it's a ratio of the amount of money you're spending on your advertising versus what your Amazon sales are. And the key to that ACOS is the last letter in the acronym, S. S stands for sales. It's not your sales. It's not your revenue. It's not your profit. It's Amazon sales. It's Amazon's gross sales. It's Amazon's gross sales before they take out a whole lot of different fees and other costs that you need in order to list your products on Amazon. The problem is those fees and those costs, first of all, some of them are variable. Some of them are hidden. Some of them you don't even know about until, for instance, Amazon all of a sudden says, oh, your FBA inventory, you're subject to a low inventory fee right now. And all of a sudden that gets tacked on to your cost structure. The other thing it doesn't take into account is your own cost for producing the goods. Okay? So if you're measuring your success based on a number that is good for Amazon, but it's not good for you, then how can you possibly be using that on an ongoing basis to kind of evaluate your campaigns? And I see a lot of agencies going along with this, and I think they're just making huge mistakes doing that. And that's because it's measuring Amazon's success. It's measuring Amazon's gross sales. It doesn't measure your revenue. It doesn't measure your profit. And I realize there's other tools out there that can help you do it, can figure out what the profit level is. Certainly, when I come to this screen, first of all, I turn ACOS off. You can just click on it, and how can I get rid of it? Oh yeah, no, it's not letting me do it right now. But anyways, oftentimes if it's in this particular view, I'll customize the columns and I'll just get rid of it. And you can basically deselect it down here, okay? What I'm looking at, there's two big numbers that I'm looking at. The first number that I'm looking at is the conversion rate. Now, Amazon doesn't show the conversion rate here, but basically that's a function of the number of clicks for a particular campaign versus the number of orders you get. And in my case, orders are almost always a single item. They're not multiple items. So if, let's say that I have, I have 4 orders here and the number of clicks for that campaign is 100, that means the conversion rate is about 4%. So I'm really looking at that as, first of all, to see if the campaigns are actually working. They're turning browsers into buyers. The other thing that I'm looking at is the spend per sale. So if I have a spend of, let's see if there's an easy one. Oh yeah, so this one right here. So this one has 2 orders, and each order was a single product. Each product, you can see, costs about $14.99. And this is the spend. So basically all I need to do to get the spend per sale is divided by 2. So basically the spend per sale for this particular item is $12.21, okay? The cost of this item on Amazon is $14.99 before all of the costs are subtracted from it. So I'm spending $12.21 to get a sale of a single item that costs $14.99 on Amazon. And by the way, after all of the costs are factored into it, my actual profit level for a single book sold or a single item sold on Amazon is basically $4.50 for this particular product. So if it's costing $12.21 for something that only yields a profit of $4.50, clearly I'm losing a lot of money. So when I'm going through this list and kind of doing these calculations, I'm exporting the data, putting it in a spreadsheet or something, I'm looking at these campaigns first, the ones that have a very high spend level per sale, oftentimes coupled with a, a really poor click-through rate or some other problem that I'm seeing in the data here. So that's kind of how I approach the ACOS question, and basically I ignore it. It's just not something that's helpful for evaluating your campaign success. If you're using ACOS as your yardstick for all your campaigns, and like that's the first thing you look at, honestly, I think you're doing it wrong. You really should be evaluating other metrics that you may have to calculate on your own, either using special tools or export it to a spreadsheet. And so that's the end of my rant for today on ACOS. If this video helped, please take a moment to like it or subscribe on YouTube. You can see more of my videos and blog posts on leanmedia.org, and there is a link in the show notes. Thank you so much for watching.